whole Europe celebrated Europe Day, and on the framework of Europe Day, we celebrate also EU-Armenia relations. What would you say about our relations and the implementation of SEPA?
Well, as you said correctly, the 9th of May is for us very important. It is a celebration of peace, of cooperation, of solidarity, which is very near to our hearts. And it is important that we celebrate it together with our partners, because I think this is our motto: together we are stronger. It is in this year also the 70th anniversary of the Schuman Declaration, which is, let's say, the cradle of the European Union, so very important for us. What relates to the EU-Armenia relation, we see really considerable progress. Naturally, SEPA is the important element. We have this comprehensive and enhanced partnership agreement, which opens a lot of possibilities for future cooperation, and therefore I think we are already doing a lot together. We are very happy that we have the roadmap for the SEPA implementation, which is important, and we discussed it together. We are very closely cooperating in core areas of EU reforms, because the roadmap is like a blueprint for the Armenian reforms. So we are working together in the field of justice reform, we are working together in education, police reform, public administration reform, all these core areas of the reform project of the Armenian government, and there we see a lot of progress. And I think we will do even more now, because right now we are together in a challenging time for all of us. So it is, the virus knows no borders, so I think this is perhaps not needed, but we have it now. It is a reminder that only together we can overcome such a crisis, and this I see also as an impetus to further enhance our cooperation.
I just would like to ask about COVID-19. It was an unprecedented crisis. Yes. And how does it affect on EU activity and EU partnership with other countries?
I think what we learned quickly is that we only can overcome it globally, and we only can overcome it together with our partners. So at the core of the activities of the European Union is not only to protect and to help our own member states and to do it in a sort of concert, but it is also to improve and enhance the cooperation with our partners, naturally also Armenia. So there we did quite a lot, and I think it is due to an extremely good cooperation here with the government that we really sat together and decided what we can do to support the health sector, to give support to vulnerable groups, very important, but also to help the economy, small and medium-sized companies. And then I think in the midterm, we are just discussing this, we have to see how we develop a strategy together to overcome the effects of the COVID-19. And I'm very much impressed on both sides. We reduced a lot of our very difficult procedures, but also here on the Armenian side there was a very open and very constructive cooperation, so that we could put together this package of 92 million to overcome it. And this is not the end. This is now the beginning, and we will continue to do more.
The European Union has some inner fiscal problems now. I mean, for example, Italy was a bit offended if we made calls from European Union. The European Commissioner just apologized. And with these problems, how could you manage to support other countries?
Well, I think this is also the nature of the European Union, that we sometimes need a little bit time to really coordinate and strengthen our cooperation, but in the end we came out stronger because we decided that we have to find a joint approach both to the health sector, how to find a vaccine, how to really work on procurement of the necessary medical equipment, but also then how to support the economy both in our member states but also with our partners. We have a budget, this budget exists, so let's say the cooperation we have is ongoing, and in the same time we find new funds to even extend our cooperation, as I said. And what we are doing here in Armenia is a combination of new funds, but also restructuring ongoing projects to really meet the priorities of your government.
What expectations does EU have from Armenia, and what challenges do you see on this road?
Well, the European Union always, the European Union is value-based, so we want our partners to be strong democracies with rule of law, human rights implemented, and here again we see a lot of positive steps. And naturally, since the Velvet Revolution, we see quite a considerable improvement in a lot of areas. You cannot develop in an economy if you don't have a clear rule of law system. So there we are cooperating, you see, it is important that we do it on one eye level. That's what we are doing. We are in close contact, and right now, I simply give you an example. When I heard that you ratified the Lanzarote Convention, this was a moment when I said, this is an important step forward. So I think we are together on this road, we listen to each other. I think this is important. We hear the concerns of the other side, and together we move forward.
When Armenia entered the Eurasian Economic Union, we thought that Armenia could become a partner, could become a kind of bridge between European Union and Eurasian Economic Union. What do you think about this? Does this possibility still exist?
So first of all, it needs the flexibility of both sides. As you know, Armenia is so far the only country in the Eurasian Economic Union that signed a comprehensive and enhanced partnership agreement with the European Union. For us, and we always underlined it, is we want to extend our partnership, but this doesn't mean that we restrict our partners to have other partners. So this is one of the core values also of the European Union. So there is one restriction: we could not take the tariff barriers into the agreement, but nevertheless the European Union is a close trade partner, and we are the donor number one. So this is an example. It is possible, and therefore you are an example, and I know that we even proposed other countries to look at the example of Armenia, that it is possible. How we make this a living example is again something where we need creativity and we need a certain flexibility to make this bridge. But as you are, let's say, in a very special situation, knowing both sides, you are something that can explain certain visions, certain ideas, always to the other side. So yes, I would say Armenia can and is a bridge between these two sides, the European Union and the Eurasian Economic Union.
And one last question. 5 countries haven't ratified the SEPA yet. Do you consider it a political situation, or it's kind of technical one?
Well, first of all, we have we are preliminary implementing SEPA since the 1st of June 2018, and the Parliament, the European Parliament, ratified it on the 4th of June. We have 5 member states still missing, and I would say it is a technical problem, and it is now naturally also hindered by the COVID-19 crisis, because for many of the parliaments it's difficult to have normal sessions. I'm convinced that they will ratify soon, but you have to see 80% of SEPA we are already implementing, and I'm really deeply convinced that we will overcome this last little step.
Thank you so much. It was our pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. Stay safe, and please all follow the rules of your government, social distancing, mask, and wash your hands. I think only if we together follow these instructions we will be able to come out of the crisis.